I had an opportunity to sit in the courtroom, and I heard on many occasions President Trump talking about a corrupt judge, a corrupt judge. Being in that courtroom, I saw it firsthand. It's far worse than the president is saying it is. When you see how he rules against the defense and so pro the prosecution, when he did not want an expert witness to come in to talk about campaign laws, campaign violations, someone who was an expert at it.
Right.
He preferred that be told through the lens of Michael Cohen. And when I saw him trying to narrow the scope on Bob Costello's testimony, knowing that he had a conversation, a relationship, was the lawyer for Michael Cohen, how he was trying to limit his testimony, it was outrageous. And then he got so upset, he started actually rolling his eyes at Bob Costello, and he berated Bob through not only the media,
Well,
but he threw everybody out of the courtroom except the defendant, the lawyers. So it was a sham kangaroo court. Obviously, this man, he really wants President Trump to go to jail, and he's doing everything he can to be as biased as he can, openly biased.
Doug, when you have obviously a judge whose daughters raised $93 million for folks campaigning off this, and everyone sees it. To Vernon's astute point, the jurors needed to see Bob Costello. They got a glimpse of some of this when they were let back in. What's your take on where we are today and how the closing arguments may have to actually be where Bragg tries to prove this case? There's still not really the link there. Many say they haven't proved what's in the indictment, and very good chance at least one juror could hold out and Donald Trump walks.
Oh, I think it's always a possibility, but again, I'm also one that is very concerned, and I'm glad to be on with Vernon. He's been elected to a lot of things, and
Exactly.
But look, here's your problem. I'm one that is very cynical when it comes to this. I mean, when you look at what the judge has done, when you look at how the judge has restricted testimony, when you can't even have an FEC commissioner give his interpretation of FEC law, where you have a judge who should not be even taking a federal law case into his purview as he has so far, it's going to be concerning. It's hard to give a closing argument against something that they've not made their case. I guess I would go back to their opening statement where the prosecution said, this is what we're going to prove. And I would just repeat it back to them and say, they've not proved this, they've not proved this, they've not proved that. And I think that's the way they're going to have to go about it. But I'm very concerned about the jury instructions that are going to be given here. I think that's going to be very key as to what actually happens. And again, a lot's been made of these, quote, two attorneys on there. But remember, you can go to law school and maybe have a law school degree, but you may not be an attorney. That's a different issue there. So hopefully they didn't sleep through evidence, and maybe they'll be able to help out there.
Let's turn to Georgia primary day. Fani Willis and all her issues wants to keep her job. And, she's been really defiant. She was defiant that day in the courtroom with McAfee, who also is up for election, we should say, because he was appointed by Kemp. Here's what she said last night on Rachel Maddow in regards to Jim Jordan and the investigation Congress has into her.
Anyone who knows Jim Jordan's history knows that he only has the purpose of trying to interfere in a criminal investigation. Not one time has he used his position to try to investigate people who are attacking me and attacking others legitimately doing their jobs.
She's being attacked. She's being attacked by hiring her lover and using taxpayer-funded money to go on vacation. I have about a minute left. I'll give you each 30 seconds. Vernon, does she keep her job? Does Judge McAfee keep his job as well?
I think they're both going to keep their jobs. But let me be clear. Her issue is more or less her conduct in that courtroom. The oversight committee now through the legislature is going to be looking at rogue district attorneys, and she's been one of them. But again, she's still going to get reelected, I believe.
Doug?
I think Fani probably has the best shot. I think the McAfee case is up in the air a little bit. That's a three-way race down here. We have runoffs, so it's going to be interesting. He has never been elected in Fulton County, so this is going to be interesting to see how it actually happens.
You were once chairman of the judiciary. I mean, she's saying Jim Jordan, and she used the word clown. I mean, you must take exception with the way she's characterizing that.
Very much so. When you have a clown, I guess, trying to make everybody else part of her circus, I guess that's what you actually find out, because she's exactly that in this case. She's not a victim. If she's actually been that threatened, she's the DA of one of the largest counties in Georgia. Where's her sheriff? Where's her law enforcement? If she's that concerned about her personal safety, then she should be investigating, but her law enforcement will be already investigating themselves.